Hello everybody, it's Merlin here. I thought I'd do a brief little video. I'm trying to kind of test out my new setup here. Hopefully kind of going to get the channel back in swing again, hoping to do some more videos regularly with higher production quality and more focus. There's been stuff that's been going on, and I mean even as I do this video I'm kind of tired, but I wanted to talk about some things, do a brief little podcast here. Got a new mic. Trying to adjust it. Let me know how the sound quality is, how the picture quality is. I think it picks up some more sounds because there's just a lot of echoes in here. I might have to find some way to condense the sound. But anyway, first bit of news I wanted to talk about. I mean, I know I'm a little late, but I just saw the new first episode of the newest season of Samurai Jack. And I just want to talk about Samurai Jack a little bit. As far as the new episode goes, I thought it was pretty awesome. I think that this series has reached a point where, I guess because they have such a limited amount of episodes, I don't know if they're going to be doing more seasons, maybe if it does really well, but Samurai Jack is something that, it's kind of an example of how, fan appreciation and fan love of things is kind of being listened to more by these studios, and there's a lot of passion there, and, it might take a while, but it's more likely through Kickstarter and other things that a lot of these companies are able to produce these things that people love. So we actually get to see, some more Samurai Jack, for instance. And for a long time they thought, hey, is this going to ever be resolved? Is there ever going to be Samurai Jack? And obviously there was enough love that it did become a thing. And I think even better than a movie, we got another season. And as I said, I think this one's going to be a bit more story-based. It seems like I think the general impression was that it's going to be a darker, more adult version of Samurai Jack. But based upon this episode, it's a little bit darker, maybe, in themes. I guess it seems that way. But to be honest with you, Samurai Jack, from what I remember, one of the great things about it was pretty dark and mature for what it was. Even though there was never really blood and guts, he only killed robots. There was a lot of violence, and even more than just the violence. It was sometimes just kind of scary and, honestly very profound. And one of the great things about Samurai Jack, I didn't really grow up watching, and I saw bits and pieces and then discovered the series more years later. I think that it's really well known for just being able to do so much with purely visual storytelling, and I think that's something that's really awesome. And it's still on display here, and I think it's really cool how it feels like it picks up right after the series left off. It's a little like a year or two could have gone by. It doesn't seem like it's been 10, 15 years since Samurai Jack had that long hiatus. And that's really cool. It kind of seamlessly interjects there. It's not really any different. We picked up there just briefly about the episode. Obviously, we've got this grizzled, kind of forlorn-looking Jack. He's been, trapped in the future for much longer now. He's still fighting the good fight, but, obviously he's not quite all there. For whatever reason, he seems kind of haunted literally by the visions of his parents and his people. He never really was able to get back to the past to fix everything, and he's still fighting, but obviously, things aren't really working for the better. There's that. And there's going to be, I guess, kind of a subplot, too, with there's Aku's not really there, or he's not really there in the physical realm. He's still there, because we kind of hear him a little bit, but there are these 7 assassin sisters that seem to be worshiping him, like he's kind of the god now of this particular religion or cult, whatever you want to call it, and they're actually genetically or spiritually mating with Aku to create daughters that are just born to be assassins and raised up. So it seems like it's a cycle, because they train them brutally and basically torture these kids and condition them to basically destroy Jack. And they end the training by kind of overtaking the sisters that are already there. So it kind of implies that this has been going on a while, and it's kind of messed up. They achieve their training when they kill the previous generation that failed. So who knows how long they've been fighting Jack, because he doesn't really age anymore. But Jack apparently lost his sword too, and we see that when he encounters this musical guy. He's like a musical assassin robot who controls weapons with sound. And they have a pretty good fight, and he claims he's the best assassin, but Jack's come across a lot of guys like that, and even without his sword, he's got a lot of skills. He's got this advanced robotic armor, he's got guns, and he ends up defeating the guy and getting more swords. So it feels like there was definitely a little bit more plot that's going to be built upon for future episodes, but it still feels like basically a standard Samurai Jack episode. Maybe the tone was a little bit darker, the whole torturing the kids and raising them to be assassins is pretty dark and weird. And yeah, it seems like Jack's gone a little bit insane. He's literally haunted and he's seeing visions of things, so he's not quite there. But then again, you still had the interjected humor with the robot guy who was just kind of like this 50s bebop dude who was just not taking the thing very seriously. He kind of lightened the mood and showed that this is still the same universe, still the same Jack, still kind of funny for the most part. He dials Aku on his phone, and we hear him kind of confused, like, wait, who is this? So Aku doesn't seem, at least from that, too much more menacing. But the cool thing about Samurai Jack is it was able to kind of play around with a lot of different tones. So you could have one episode that was incredibly lighthearted and another episode that was really kind of creepy, and they could just be back to back. So, I could see like future episodes being really funny or incredibly dark. It's Samurai Jack, so we'll probably get a fusion. But I'm just curious to see if they're going to just kind of finish everything in this one season and leave it open for more, or if this is really just going to be it and that's all. So it's kind of hard to say. But for what it was, I really liked it. I thought it was very good. I was really interested in it and kind of encapsulated by it. I thought it was really cool. I'm looking forward to more Samurai Jack. But yeah, that was my thought about that. Also, some other brief things I wanted to talk about. Beauty and the Beast, I think, comes out today. I might be seeing that later. Don't know if I'm going to do a review of that. But man, there are a lot of remakes of these classic Disney movies, and I've got a feeling Beauty and the Beast will be good, but I don't know if it's really going to be matching the original. So that whole question doesn't need to be made. As long as they do enough differently to kind of separate it from the original, I think it'll be fine. But I saw they were doing a Little Mermaid one too. It's just like, man, everything's going to get a remake, and I guess it's easy money. But that's that. I saw the newest Wonder Woman trailer, and I actually thought it was pretty cool. To be completely honest, I think one of the things that I have to say about the Wonder Woman trailers thus far, especially this last one, is that I think that the DC movies need to take a few hints from Marvel, but the most important one is have fun. Like, I don't mind comic book movies being dark and disturbing and mature some of the time, because a lot of the comics have been like that for decades anyway. Comics are equally for adults and sometimes more so than kids, really. And the movies balance that. I've always said the Marvel movies are a little too popcorn friendly most of the time, whereas the DC movies just go way too serious and it gets kind of old. And the thing is, though, they look kind of ugly. They're all gray, they're all dark, full of shadows. Wonder Woman looks like it's going to be a bright, colorful movie, because if you're going to do Wonder Woman, or really Superman, or most of the Justice League for that matter, you have to have some element of bright and color, not just in the tone, but just in the visuals. I mean, we see the comic book characters, we read the pages, we watch these cartoons, and want to see these characters because of their bright, colorful designs and the bright, colorful things that they do. A sense of fun and something visually interesting. If everything's just gray and brown and murky, it's just ugly to look at. And Wonder Woman, for the most part, looks like there's going to be a fair amount of that. And we see there's a lot more of Diana's origin here. We see her interacting with, I guess, the World War I. They're taking a vein from Captain America with a different World War this time, but whatever. It's a good introduction. I think there's some pretty cool action from what I've seen. I think Gal Gadot looks like she's doing a good job. I mean, I liked her in Batman vs. Superman. She was one of the highlights of that movie. And I have to say that I'm really interested. Now, I don't want to get too excited because, Batman vs. Superman was kind of meh for me. Suicide Squad was very frustrating. I wanted to like it, but I didn't really. DC has been struggling, and I want to keep being a fan. I'm a big DC fan, as I've always said, but the movies have been kind of disappointing. I want Wonder Woman to be something to show that there is some hope for better things, because too rushed, too over condensed, but Wonder Woman hopefully looks good. At the very least, like in the other film, she looks good as Wonder Woman. She looks the part. They've got her costume down. She looks cool. I'm sure she'll be awesome in it. I just hope the movie stands up to it. Also, some interesting news. You guys might not know, but I'm a pretty big Godzilla fan. I did a podcast with one of my Film Fanatics buddies a couple years ago. We discussed all the Godzilla films. I might do that again in some more detail sometime, because I really love Godzilla. Grew up with it. Love Godzilla. My favorite movie monster, my favorite giant monster. I love Godzilla. But I had a discussion with some people at the fandom group, like Anime Hero and Falcon Punch, a while back, that Godzilla, even though he's one of the big, iconic entertainment creatures or characters from Japan, or really in the world, even though he's from Japan, he's never really had an anime. Not a full-fledged anime. And I find that really bizarre. I know that he is kind of particularly suited for his particular style of films, but It's just weird he's never had an anime, but there was a recent announcement that Netflix, he's going to have his own anime movie, I guess. So are there going to be more monsters? What's the plot of the movie going to be? Not entirely sure, but this is something that I feel like is a no-brainer that's been talked about that just seems long overdue. Like, I'm surprised this didn't happen like 20, 30 years ago at least. But it's really cool. Godzilla's getting his own anime. Hopefully it's decent. Also, some other anime manga related news. I heard recently that apparently Kenshin might be getting a new manga arc. So that could be really awesome because I know that Kenshin's really been kind of upping with a lot of the popularity recently. A lot of the classic shonen in particular have been kind of being re-explored again. We had JoJo among a lot of others, and Kenshin with the new movies I think has boosted his popularity a little bit. So maybe that's one reason why they're thinking about introducing new things. Now, you could argue that the Kenshin storyline kind of wrapped up pretty solidly, but who knows, maybe this could be something that takes place early on, like kind of an extra adventure or a side story, or maybe it could have changed the ending and there could be a whole new version of Kenshin, or maybe like a soft reboot. But I think that's really cool. I mean, Kenshin's one of the most reviled, beloved manga series in the action-adventure genre, really is. And I think that's pretty awesome. I know some fans that'll be really excited for that, and I'm looking forward to it. It'll give me a chance to go back and look at the Kenshin manga again and check out the anime, which I do enjoy quite a bit. I've always liked the Kenshin character, and I always thought the Samurai X OVAs were some of the best anime productions I've ever seen. Just beautiful animation, a thrilling story, really great fights, really bloody, pretty dark, but really good stuff. I was blown away by that years ago. And Patreon request too. I'm going to be doing some reviews. My friends donated the trilogy of Kenshin live-action movies, so I can finally sit down and watch those, and maybe I'll end up reviewing them too. So I've got plenty going on with that, that's for sure. And one little piece of news that I thought was at least briefly worth noting. Apparently, among all the reboots and reimaginings of things they're thinking about doing, they're thinking about rebooting The Matrix. Now, I don't know, man. The Matrix is very much a product of its time, and I remember when I was younger, it came out like 1999, blew people away, people parodied it, people mocked it, people were inspired by it for years afterwards. But The Matrix hasn't quite aged well. Like, you can very much tell it's a product of its time. I mean, the action's still good, there's still some cool ideas, but it's kind of a little cheesy now. So I guess there are some really interesting philosophical concepts that you could use to, I guess, do kind of reboot, and especially because of the sequels, kind of the whole cycle of things. But then again, that was kind of resolved with Neo and his sacrifice in the third movie. So, of course, there's always a way around these things. But, I don't know. Does it really need a reboot? I feel like it's once again one of those things that shouldn't necessarily be touched. But then again, I don't love The Matrix as much as something like RoboCop or a Total Recall, for instance, if they're going to, reboot something like that, which they have. And those movies were older when their reboots came out. I feel like The Matrix isn't even 20 years old yet. Like, there could be some new possibilities for it, but is it a little too soon? I don't know. But those are just some thoughts on some kind of entertainment news I wanted to share with you guys while I was a little bit awake. And I guess I'll use this time just kind of to go into some brief little updates and brief discussions. What's been going on with me? As far as the channel's been going, there's been some updates. Basically, the reason why I haven't been doing as many reviews, the typical Merlin reviews where I go in depth with a lot of anime analysis and stuff like that, is simply because I've just been busy and tired. Really, the last couple months, probably close to a year now. It's just been a big year, but I started a new job like a year ago, and then there were some other things, like trying to balance family and work and friends, and just found myself being really tired out and kind of stressed out, and I had a lot of things going on that I was trying to balance. So I'm kind of trying to reorganize things and get some more free time and focus on some more projects and really try to kind of fix up the channel, because I want to get back into a flow. I kind of feel like I don't know if I'm going to be able to produce a lot of videos necessarily, but I'm going to be able to produce consistent, really good videos is what I'm hoping for. And kind of go back to, I have like a long list of ideas that I've had for a while, just things I want to talk about. So I might do some more vlogs kind of like this. And I'm also planning to do some occasional live streams, some Q&A stuff, because I haven't done one of those in a while. And I also want to go back to doing my analysis reviews for anime series, anime characters, and comic book stuff, and movie reviews too. Really want to do some more movie stuff for sure. So I won't lie and say that I've got a complete plan, but I am going to be working on that and hopefully getting that through. And as far as requests go, I am open to requests, but because I really want to kind of get back to talking about things I want to talk about and having the time to do it, I really want to do requests, and I might put up polls in the Facebook group and the Facebook page I have there to see what people want me to talk about to kind of give people requests. But if it's a specific video, I'm going to direct you to my Patreon page. Like, even if you just want to donate like a couple bucks, become a patron, even if it's just like $1 or $2, I really don't care. But that would give me a little more incentive to be able to do that, because I just don't have the time, and a little extra money really helps. But either way, it's fine. But I try to get to requests when I can. I do like to hear your ideas for things, but I kind of want to get back to just kind of rediscovering what I want to do with the channel and making videos about things I want to talk about, because to be honest, I feel like I lost some of that balance. And I want to keep doing these things, and I want to really keep boosting the channel and making good content for you guys. And I've been trying to kind of keep that up with the Merlin casts. My friends have been helping me kind of keep it going along, kind of including them in discussions about things. But I know I don't have the best quality camera, and I kind of sometimes want to do Merlin casts where it's just me again, because I know some people like the format, some people don't. So there's that. But yeah, there's a bunch of things. Film Fanatics, which was my other podcast I did with Dan and Justin. Some of you guys might know about that. That's kind of sort of ending. That there'll be a couple more videos coming out on that channel. But yeah, that was just something that was also taking up some time, because I was having to see every single movie, and I quite frankly don't have the time or money or interest to do that. So I'm just going to be selectively doing movie reviews. I'm going to still try to probably get out and see like 1 or 2 movies a week anyway. I typically did that anyway, but there's going to be some more focus there. And I might still be doing Star Trek episode reviews with him over there. And we might do some other videos. I don't know, he wanted to talk about that new Archie show, Riverdale, possibly. So there might be some things there. I know Justin's going to be working on a blog or maybe some podcast he might join up on. I think we want to talk about the Phantasm movies or something sometime. So there's possibilities. So Film Fanatics might still be kind of there in some form. There's the Phantom group, which I want to try to get back doing more videos with. But that just has to work with scheduling and whatnot. Everybody's kind of busy over there. But yeah, basically, just kind of as an update there, I know that for some patron stuff, I have a couple people have been donating and helping me out with some things. So I'm going to be doing some introspective looks at JoJo. I'm going to be looking at some seasonal reviews of JoJo, parts 1 through 3, and parts 1 through 4 actually. And I'm also going to be talking about Beyblade a little bit. So hopefully those will be coming out. I've also got some other little videos about some movie reviews and some movie discussions too that are coming through patrons. So if you want to look at some of the more requested Patreon reviews, look at some of those videos. You get to see what the quality of those videos is like. And typically, if you donate a couple bucks, you decide to become a patron, even if it's just like $1 or $2 a month or $5 a month, you can get a video like that every month. So that's the benefit of doing that. But then again, like I said, I just kind of want to try and do a couple. I don't know how many it's going to be. I was thinking about kind of doing a little brief hiatus. That's actually something that somebody recommended to me, was just kind of do a little break and kind of reassess things. But I kind of feel like I've sort of been on a hiatus anyway, because I've mostly just been putting up these discussions and videos of D&D stuff. But yeah, I'm going to get back to getting some more videos out probably within the next month or so, just letting you guys know. But should be doing a stream, maybe some little reviews in the meantime. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas or suggestions, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll think over some things. As far as that goes, other things, I've got that D&D documentary I have to work on editing. Hopefully I'll get that out pretty soon, within the next couple weeks, I'm hoping. Got to actually look at the footage there. It's quite a project. I have a lot of footage for that, but yeah, I recorded that back in like November or December, and I haven't really touched it. So that's one thing. I'm also planning on doing another documentary on my one friend Gimli. He's a beekeeper, and I wanted to do a little documentary about the importance of bees. So hopefully throughout the spring and summer that'll be a thing. Thinking about hitting a couple local conventions, possibly for comic books and anime. Finished my first draft of my first novel just about, so that'll be something that hopefully will be released in Amazon, and might be working on another movie too this summer. So once again, a lot of stuff, but hoping to get some more upgraded equipment. I really want to get a new camcorder for sure, or maybe an even better high quality webcam, but hopefully the quality of this isn't too bad. But I see I've been talking for about 20 minutes. That's all I can really think of. If you guys have any other ideas for videos to do or things you'd like to see in the channel, please let me know below, and I'll consider them, and hopefully we'll be getting back on track within the next couple weeks. But things are still working. I'm still here, and there might even be another Merlin cast in the next day or two. So yeah, just stay magical, everybody. Peace.